The rain mirrors the storm inside me. It started subtly, a shift in glances, a hesitation in touch. Sarah, my wife of 20 years, always seemed distant. We built a life, a beautiful life, filled with laughter and shared dreams. But somewhere along the way, the laughter faded, replaced by an echoing silence. I noticed the late nights at work, the hushed phone calls, the way she'd flinch when I entered the room. I dismissed it as stress, a demanding career. But a nagging feeling persisted, a cold knot tightening in my stomach. I started noticing details, a perfume I didn't recognize, a misplaced scarf, a fleeting expression in her eyes that I couldn't quite decipher. It was like watching a slow-motion tragedy unfold, and I was powerless to stop it. I just couldn't believe it was happening. The first undeniable proof arrived disguised as a forgotten receipt. A restaurant, a date, a sum of money far exceeding a casual dinner. My blood ran cold as I read the details. It wasn't a mistake, it was a deliberate act of deception. The world tilted on its axis, and the foundations of my reality crumbled. I felt a wave of nausea, a suffocating sense of betrayal. How could she? How could she betray everything we had built together? The image of her smiling face, the warmth of her embrace, all tainted by this sudden, devastating revelation. The champagne bubbles seemed to mock me, a symbol of a celebration I was never invited to share. Confrontation was inevitable. The words hung heavy in the air, each syllable a shard of glass piercing my heart. She didn't deny it. The confession, delivered with a chilling calmness, felt more like a calculated statement than a genuine apology. She spoke of loneliness, of unmet needs, of a yearning for something she felt I could no longer provide. Her words were like poison, seeping into my soul, eroding my sense of self. The years of shared memories, the promises whispered in the dark, all reduced to ashes. I stood there, numb, watching the woman I loved dismantle our life with a practiced ease. The days that followed were a blur of confusion and grief. I wandered through our home, a stranger in my own life. Every object, every photograph, every shared memory served as a painful reminder of what was lost. The silence was deafening, broken only by the echo of my own despair. I felt adrift, lost in a sea of emotions, unsure of where to turn. The world outside continued its relentless march, oblivious to the devastation within my heart. I couldn't understand how someone I thought I knew could inflict such pain. The wedding ring, a symbol of our vows, now felt like a cruel mockery. It lay on the table, cold and lifeless, a tangible representation of broken promises. I picked it up, turning it over in my fingers, searching for answers, for a glimmer of understanding. But all I found was emptiness, a hollow echo of what once was. The weight of the ring felt unbearable, a constant reminder of the love that had withered and died. It was a physical manifestation of the emotional devastation I was experiencing. I started avoiding places we used to frequent, haunted by the ghosts of our past. Every corner held a memory, every street a reminder of the happiness we had shared. The city, once a vibrant tapestry of life, now felt like a cold and indifferent landscape. I walked through the crowds, invisible and alone, desperately trying to escape the weight of my sorrow. The rain washed over me, a futile attempt to cleanse the pain that consumed me. The decision to leave was agonizing, but necessary. Staying felt like a betrayal of myself, a perpetuation of a lie. I started packing my things, each item a painful reminder of our life together. Every object held a story, a memory, a fragment of a shattered dream. The apartment felt empty, sterile, devoid of warmth. It was a physical representation of the emotional void that had opened up within me. There were moments of rage, of uncontrollable anger. I wanted to scream, to lash out, to shatter everything around me. But the anger was fleeting, quickly replaced by a profound sense of sadness and resignation. The realization that our life was over, that the love we had shared was gone forever, was a crushing blow. I felt like a victim, betrayed and abandoned. I found solace in nature, seeking refuge in the vastness of the ocean. The rhythmic sound of the waves, the warmth of the sun on my skin, seemed to soothe my wounded soul. I walked along the beach, letting the sand wash over my feet, trying to find some sense of peace amidst the turmoil. The sunrise felt like a promise of a new beginning, a chance to rebuild my life. I started writing, pouring out my thoughts and emotions onto the page. It was a cathartic process, a way to make sense of the chaos within me. I wrote about the pain, the betrayal, the heartbreak. I wrote about the memories, the dreams, the hopes that had been shattered. Writing became my therapy, a way to heal and move forward. I rediscovered old passions, things I had neglected during our marriage. I started painting again, a hobby I had abandoned years ago. The act of creating, of expressing myself through art, was therapeutic, a way to reclaim a part of myself that I had lost. It was a reminder that I was more than just a husband, a partner, a father. I started exercising, pushing myself physically to rebuild my strength. The physical exertion helped to clear my mind, to release the pent-up emotions. Hiking in the forest became my escape, a way to reconnect with nature and find peace. Each step forward felt like a victory, a testament to my resilience. I reconnected with old friends, people I had drifted apart from during our marriage. Their support and understanding helped me to heal and move forward. Talking about my experiences, sharing my pain, made me feel less alone. Their friendship was a lifeline, a reminder that I was loved and valued. I allowed myself to remember the good times, the happy moments we had shared. I looked at old photographs, reliving memories, cherishing the love we had once known. It wasn't about dwelling on the past, but about acknowledging it, accepting it as a part of my story. The memories were bittersweet, a mixture of joy and sorrow. I started to see myself differently, not as a victim, but as a survivor. I realized that I had emerged from the ashes stronger, more resilient, and more self-aware. The experience had changed me, shaping me into a better version of myself. I had learned valuable lessons about love, loss, and self-worth. I found healing in creativity, in expressing my emotions through art. The abstract painting became a symbol of my journey, a visual representation of the chaos and transformation I had experienced. It was a way to release the pain, to find beauty in the darkness. I started to embrace the present moment, to appreciate the simple joys of life. Watching children play, feeling the warmth of the sun on my skin, enjoying a quiet moment of solitude, these were the things that brought me peace. I realized that life continued, even after the heartbreak. The future was uncertain, but I was ready to face it. I had learned from my mistakes, grown from my pain, and emerged stronger than ever before. I was open to new experiences, new relationships, new possibilities. The road ahead was long, but I was ready to walk it with courage and hope. I started to nurture new beginnings, to cultivate new relationships. I found joy in simple acts of kindness, in helping others, in making a difference in the world. The small plant became a symbol of my own growth, a reminder that even after the darkest of times, new life is always possible. I embraced my independence, my freedom, my self-reliance. I realized that I didn't need anyone else to complete me, that I was capable of creating my own happiness. I was no longer defined by my marriage, but by my own choices, my own dreams, my own aspirations. I found strength in solitude, in connecting with nature, in challenging myself. Reaching the mountaintop was symbolic of overcoming my obstacles, achieving my goals, and embracing my full potential. The view from above was breathtaking, a testament to the beauty and possibility of life. The sun set on a chapter of my life, a chapter filled with pain, betrayal, and heartbreak. But it also set on a chapter of growth, resilience, and self-discovery. I had learned valuable lessons, made peace with the past, and embraced the future with hope and gratitude. I was ready to move forward, to create a new life, a life filled with love, joy, and purpose.